What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing a killer resistance band ab workout that includes 10 amazing resistance band ab exercises that will scorch your core. We're going to begin with movements that place a little extra emphasis on the lower abdominals, then shift to exercises that place a little more emphasis on the upper abs, and then finish off with some really incredible resistance band exercises that really blast your obliques and transverse abdominals. This is going to be a lot of fun. You are going to be toast at the end of this ab workout. If you enjoy this ab workout, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. More than anything, I would love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Let me know what your experience is like with this workout, and let me know if you learned a new exercise from this routine. For each exercise in this workout, you're going to perform 3 sets for as many reps as possible. As I mentioned, we're going to begin the workout with exercises that place a little more emphasis on the lower abdominals, and that involves movements where the pelvis is curling upwards. First exercise we're going to perform is the jackknife. You're going to need a heavy-duty resistance band for this exercise in order to support the weight of your legs. Here you're going to be focused on bringing your knees in towards your hands, but you really want to focus on curling that pelvis, and you want to make sure you're trying to keep your body as parallel to the ground as possible throughout the entire range of motion. You don't want your butt scooting upwards. By keeping that butt down lower, that's going to really help you emphasize that curling of the pelvis there. So you're going to perform as many reps as possible. As you're bringing your knees in towards your arms, you're going to experience that little extra resistance from the resistance bands pulling in, but even just the stability of this movement is awesome. So not only are you going to get some great tension on the lower abdominals here, but the obliques are really going to get involved in this movement as well. The second exercise is a reverse crunch. You can either do this lying on the ground or on a bench as I am here, and you're going to tie the resistance band down low on a pole. I've seen some people attach the bands around their feet. I found it a lot better having the band around my waist. It was a lot easier to control, and the whole purpose of the reverse crunch isn't just bringing your knees up. It's all about, again, raising your hips up off the ground, curling your pelvis upwards there. So you'll see towards the top range of motion, it's like really curling, really rounding that lower back area, that pelvic floor area, really curling that pelvis upward as you're bringing knees up towards the chest. So just don't lift your knees up off the ground there. You really want to make sure you're curling that pelvis and getting your hips up off the bench there. In doing so, with that band wrapped around your waist like that, the resistance is going to be a heck of a lot harder in that top range of the motion. I found this very, very effective. Depending on the strength of your resistance band. If you have a lighter resistance band, and I've got here like one of the lighter versions, you may be able to attach it to your feet no problem and not cause too much resistance. It would have been too much for me. The resistance on this band was a little bit too much for me to attach it to my feet. I wouldn't have been able to curl my pelvis as much as I could by having that band around my waist. I tried it up around my knees as well. That didn't work quite as good. It just kind of slid down a little bit more. So when I placed it down at my hips, I found it to be absolutely incredible. This is a challenge. Like typically reverse crunches, I can hammer out 20 reps no problem. 12, 13 reps with the resistance band. It was an intense contraction towards the end there. Now it's time to move on to exercises that place a little more emphasis on the upper and mid abdominals. So movements where you're going to be rounding your upper back, curling your upper torso there, where you're bringing the shoulders closer to your belly button. The first exercise we're going to perform is a kneeling crunch. I have a resistance band looped around a tree branch here. You can loop it around a hook in the house or on your door, whatever means you necessary to loop that band around. And here I'm kneeling, but I'm keeping my torso pretty upright and just focused on rounding that upper back area. So I'm not bringing my upper body down towards the ground. I'm not trying to bring my elbows towards my knees. I'm just trying to get as much as a curl while remaining fairly upright. There's so many different variations to perform this kneeling crunch. Again, just play around with it, experiment with it. As long as you want to make sure that you are not just hinging at the hips and keeping your upper body completely straight. I see that a lot where their upper body is completely like a board and they're just bending down. You're kind of missing the big benefit of this kneeling crunch movement, which is all about curling, rounding that upper back, curling that upper torso downward. Next, you're going to move on to a laying crunch. You can either lay on the ground or on a bench as I am here, and you're going to tie that band down low on a pole. Once again, the whole purpose of this movement is just rounding that upper back there, so bringing the shoulders towards the belly button, but you're not doing a full sit-up here. This is just a tiny little crunch. You want to try to keep your neck in a nice neutral position here, and you want to grab the band in a place where you're creating enough resistance where once you get up to that peak contraction of the crunch, you're feeling a great deal of tension on that band. It's even though it's a short range of motion here, it's a very challenging exercise, especially after you've already done 3 sets of the kneeling crunch and your lower abs are already fatigued from the jackknife and the reverse crunch. Now we're going to have some fun blasting the obliques and transverse abdominals. First exercise is a standing oblique crunch. It's going to be high to low there, so you're going to grab onto that band up high. I got it looped around that tree branch once again, and just crunching down to the side. The contraction here is very, very intense. I'm actually really impressed with this. When I get back into the gym, I'm going to be performing this movement with cable machines as well, because I was really, really impressed with how intense this contraction is. Really, really feeling it in the obliques, even the abs there. It was just incredible tension. Really enjoyed this movement. Another alternative, the next exercise is a Tate side bend. So you see a lot of times where a side bend, you loop the band down around your feet, or if you're holding a weight plate or anything like that, and you're coming upwards. This is the opposite, where the band is looped around high, you grab your hand on that band and you're pushing down low. Once again, there's cable versions of this as well, a Tate side bend. This felt pretty damn incredible as well, but it all depends on the resistance of your band. I wish my band was either just a tiny bit shorter here. I think I would have felt the contraction a little bit more intense. I definitely felt more tension, a greater contraction with the oblique crunch, the side oblique crunch, compared to this Tate side bend, but just because of the resistance band. So I'm going to play around with that a little bit. I'm going to try to shorten up the band just a bit by tying it off, and see if I can create some even greater tension there. So once again, make sure you're working both sides with these movements for as many reps as possible. 3 sets for each of these exercises. Next, you're going to move on to the pull-off press, and you're going to feel incredible tension and stabilization with all kinds of muscles with this exercise. Now, when that band is in close to your body, that's where the tension kind of releases just a little bit. When you're pushing it out, you're going to feel incredible tension on the obliques, the side that is facing the pole. That's where you're going to see all kinds of tension and feel all kinds of tension going on. You're also going to feel it in the glutes. You're also going to feel it in your shoulders. There is just an amazing amount of stabilization involved in this exercise. You really want to make sure that you are stepping far enough away from the pole to create that kind of tension, but not too far away where the tension is too great and you start to lose focus, and your arms you just can't push it directly out in front of you there. So I've done this before with a lighter resistance band that is a little bit further away from the pole. I actually think I like the feel of it better with that band compared to the heavy duty band. And once again, you're going to want to make sure that you are switching sides, like face different directions there, because once again, the side that is facing the pole, that's where you're going to feel the greatest amount of tension. Just briefly hold it out in front of your body, bring it back in for a brief pause, and hold it right back out again. And again, the stabilization, you're going to feel all over the place. This is an incredible movement. You can see all kinds of funky stuff going on with the abs, the obliques, to really brace your core with this movement. Next, you're going to move on to the half kneeling, low to high wood chop. You're going to have your outside leg up and the inside knee down on the ground here. And you want to keep your torso facing forward. There's no twisting of the torso here. It's just your arms moving. And you want to be far enough away from that pole where there's still a bit of tension in the bottom, but you are able to, there's not too much tension where you can't get your arms all the way up there crossing your body. So it's all, the tension isn't going to come from twisting your body. The tension is just going to come from the tension on that band, pulling that band upwards across your body. Your obliques, transverse abdominals are going to contract like crazy here. Your abs are going to contract in ways that you haven't experienced with any other exercise here. This is a phenomenal movement, really feels great. Half kneeling, low to high wood chop. perform 3 sets, both sides, and then move on to the half kneeling high to low wood chop here. Similar movement, except now you're starting with the band up high and crossing down low. Same idea. You want your outside leg is going to be up, the inside knee is going to be down on the ground, and you want to keep your torso facing forward. Again, all that tension in your core, just from keeping your trunk faced forward, just from that arms coming down across your body, the tension is absolutely incredible. I really want you to enhance your mind-muscle connection here. I really want you to get your mind inside the muscle and feel the difference. Feel how different it is to go from low to high and high to low. How differently you feel it in your obliques, in your abs, just the tension all around. These are two incredible movements. Once again, you can do these with cables once you're in the gym, but when you have resistance bands at home right now, these are two movements that are phenomenal for really scorching your core. And the last exercise is the Spider-Man. I've got both feet in one resistance band here. If you have 2 different resistance bands, you can tie those to the pole as well. Might be a little bit different feel there. But this worked out really well. So I got both feet in the resistance band. The further away you are from that pole, the greater the tension. And you really want to keep your body nice and parallel to the ground there. You don't want your butt to be scooting up during this movement. It's not like a mountain climber where you're going to bring your knee in towards your hand, like under your body. You really want to sweep that knee out towards the side. So that hip's going to open up. You're going to swing that knee around outside to the arm, plant that foot back down, do it to the opposite side. So really, if you're going to bring that knee underneath you, it's going to force your butt to come up. We don't want that. We want that sweeping motion. That's going to really help target the obliques there. Great for the core. What I really liked doing with this movement is starting out further away, creating greater tension, making it tougher on myself, and then towards the end, start getting closer and closer to the pole. So it's almost like doing a drop set. You're creating less and less resistance as you're bringing yourself back towards the pole. And it was easy enough to kind of scoot myself down a little bit. So I do a rep each leg, scoot down a little bit more, do a rep each leg, scoot down a little bit more. Allowed me to crank out more reps, but really allowed me to create a lot of tension early on in that set with a greater resistance, with a greater stretch on the band there. And that's your killer resistance band ab workout. I'd love to hear from you. Were any of those 10 resistance band ab exercises new to you? I want to hear about your experience here with each of these exercises, and by combining them all together, did it scorch your core? I know it sure scorched mine. And remember, 3 sets of each exercise, as many reps as possible, and then move on to the next exercise. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. I hope you have yourself an absolutely amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.